As somebody who's the typical type A kind of personality, somebody who constantly needs to be doing something all day, staying active, working out, or whatever the hell he wants to do, just to outdo his competition and just to feel better about himself. I know what it feels like to be super under recovered and super tired going into my next gym session every single day. And it wasn't until recently, about a year ago, that I fully understood what it means to be fully recovered and rested and the importance of it after hammering my body for 7 years straight on the soccer field and in the gym. So that is exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to be talking about what recovery is in its truest sense and share 3 very practical and useful tips that particularly helped me and the clients that I train to see better results in terms of recovery. But before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel, I just wanted to welcome you here. My name is Ansh and I'm an NASM certified personal trainer, an online fitness coach and a nutrition specialist. And my whole goal with this YouTube channel is to make getting in shape as practical, easy, digestible, and as effective as I possibly can so that you guys can watch this video and go straight into actually implementing these practices. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot, guys. And also, don't forget to click that bell notification down below. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So what actually is recovery? Now, most people get this completely confused, which is why they're not able to recover in the first place. But in a simple nutshell, recovery basically means the physical regeneration of your muscles and your nervous system. So actual recovery has almost nothing to do with a bunch of these active recovery practices like contrast therapies, massages, foam rolling, stretching, like light movements, stuff like that, that a lot of people recommend to you guys, and a lot of you watching this video probably do on your recovery days in order to hopefully boost recovery. And a lot of people think that their recovery can be sped up by doing all these different practices, but in reality, if it causes you any level of stress or increased heart rate or any sort of physical exertion, it's only going to delay your actual recovery. All these active recovery methods only act as a smokescreen to true regeneration and recovery, because all these methods are doing is masking the actual inflammatory response of your body post-training, which is completely normal. So how do you get around to actual true recovery? It just takes time, guys. Like, there is no rocket science or no secret method to faster recovery, because your central nervous system and your muscles just take time to recover. That's it. Now, are there ways to speed up that real time of recovery? Maybe, maybe not. But here are 3 tips in terms of getting my body to recover faster than ever before. Again, I want to put a disclaimer out there, as with all things fitness related, that recovery is largely dependent on your genetics too. So some people just recover really fast. Some people just take a lot longer to recover. A lot of it does depend on your genetics, so don't be mad, but these 3 tips will definitely help you in your recovery process, if not speed it up, and just get you to get into your next session a lot more fresh. Tip number 1 is, when it comes to recovery, instead of finding things to add to your recovery day or your routine, find things to subtract or take out of it. Now, this is the most basic, the most easy to understand and easy to implement, but honestly the most important of them all, because people get so obsessed with finding the perfect recovery routine or finding different things to do on the recovery day, going back to that type A personality, just because they want to like outdo their competition or just feel good about themselves or feel like they're not lagging behind. But in reality, your body is a machine, and just like any other machine, it needs to be repaired, and repair just takes time. So you have to find things that you can take out of your recovery routine that possibly could be causing you stress or muscle exertion in order to actually go into the gym the next day or the next week, whatever it is, and give it your best. Now, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people think that their recovery could be sped up through these contrast therapies, massages, foam rolling, stretching, light cardio, biking, runs, stuff like that. But in reality, without them actually knowing, that could only delay the process of true recovery. Because even the slightest bit of activity that raises your heart rate, causes you some level of physical exertion or mental or physical stress, will in some way delay the process of true recovery and muscle regeneration. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing any of these things, but what I'm saying is that only do them if it makes you feel really good and it makes your body feel a lot better after. Because the last thing you want to do is go into all these things that you've never done before, and it causes you genuine physical stress, and you're sweating and you're like panting or whatever it is, just because you're seeing some influencer online do it, that doesn't mean you have to do it. Everybody's body is different. See what works for you and gives you genuine relaxation, because relaxation for recovery is the name of the game. You ever see those athletes that on their rest day, they just watch Netflix all day, they don't get out of their bed, and they sleep until 12 p.m. without moving a muscle, and then they come back the next day into practice and just be absolute beasts as always. And there's a reason for that. It's because they've learned how to switch their body off mentally and physically, which allows their bodies in those 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is to fully regenerate and give it their all in practice, because that's what matters the most. I want you guys to think of your body as an athlete or as a high performance individual. You're sacrificing your short-term need to do something in order to get long-term benefit by performing at your best when it truly matters. And again, I'm not saying that you have to watch Netflix all day or sleep until 12 p.m. and not move a muscle, but what I am saying is you have to find a way to completely relax and calm your body down. That is most important. Tip number 2 is the importance of sleep and protein. Now, I know you guys have heard this a million times, but there's a reason for that. Is because it's true. Nothing in this world will ever paramount or trump sleep and protein when it comes to true recovery and regeneration, because this is where your body actually regenerates and recuperates and rests so that it can actually perform the next day. Now, this doesn't mean you sleep as much as you possibly can or eat as much protein as you possibly can, because that's only going to give you negative effect. You have to have the optimal amounts of sleep and optimal amounts of protein to actually get the benefits or the optimal results you're looking for. For example, I can't tell you watching this video how much you're supposed to sleep. Everybody's a little different and everybody needs varying levels of sleep. Some people need the 9 hours of consistent sleep. Some people can perform absolutely perfectly fine and perform really well on 6 hours of sleep. Again, that comes from trial and error, and you have to find out what level or what amount of sleep works best for you. But more than the actual amount of sleep, what's more important is the consistency of your sleep schedule. Are you going to bed and waking up at a similar time or at the same time every single day? Now, I know nobody's perfect, everybody's human, so I would recommend 1 to 1.5 hours plus or minus of your actual going to bed time and your actual wake up time. And for protein, you really don't need to be going over the 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight a day range, unless you are cutting or in a caloric deficit. Similarly, you don't want to be going below the 0.6 grams per pound of body weight of protein per day range, because that's just not sufficient enough for your body to actually recover. Sweet spot I found for myself is around the 0.9 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight a day range. But again, most people can see great results sticking between the 0.6 to 0.8 range too. Which leads me to my next and final point in terms of boosting your recovery, and that is eat more. Now, I know that's not something that you're probably used to hearing, especially if you're somebody who's into fat loss or who needs to lose weight, but I really do mean it. Using a similar example to what I used before, have you ever seen those athletes who, after games or on their rest days, they will literally go into McDonald's and eat Big Macs, burgers, fries, or a pizza or something, and they will come back the next day performing like absolute beasts and acting like there was not an ounce of junk placed in their body, and they even look in phenomenal shape too? Well, that's because people obsess over details and things that just aren't as important as actual calories. So things like nutrient quality, meal timing, meal frequency. I'm not saying they're not important, but at the end of the day, your body weight, your energy levels will be determined by the amount of calories you intake. Eating more and sufficient amounts of protein is probably 80% of the recovery battle itself. Your body and muscles need calories to function, and if you are a super active person or somebody who has an insane metabolism and who struggles to sort of maintain or put on weight, then you are going to have to find a way to get those calories in. Putting your body in a constant catabolic state, or a state where it burns more calories than it consumes, is going to slowly drain your energy over the long run, even if you are eating the cleanest foods. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have Big Macs, pizzas, burgers, fries, ice creams every single day, but what I am saying is, if you are severely under eating, or if you're struggling to get your calories in and you know that your body weight is dropping or you just aren't seeing sufficient levels of energy, then you probably have to find ways to get your calories in, even if that means eating that junk. Now, if you can combine high nutrient quality with sufficient amounts of calories to either maintain or consistently put on weight if you need to, then you're golden. Now, as for people who are looking to lose weight, well then, my suggestion to you guys would be eat as much as you can while consistently losing weight. Now again, this requires trial and error, this requires tracking your calories and your macros, but don't be afraid to eat more, even if that means losing weight at a slightly lower rate. Because at the end of the day, food is energy, and food is what's going to allow you to actually recover faster. So guys, I hope you took something away from this video and you are now able to go into your gym session and the following week so that you can recover faster and actually in turn perform better. And if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe to the channel. Also click that bell notification down below. Like I said, it helps me out a lot, guys, and I really do appreciate any support you guys give me. And if you guys are enjoying these types of videos, please let me know in the comment section down below. I personally respond to all of them. And links to one-on-one coaching inquiries, free resources and other social media platforms will be placed in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.